Hi, welcome back. Today we're going to make pumpkin pie. So we're going to need a pumpkin. So come on, let's go.
I'm Richard.
And I'm Leslie, and this is our camper van, Fred, an IH converted Renault Master, our home from home, wherever we roam. Come and join me in my kitchen where I cook low-carb meals, treats and snacks. Come and share with me my low-carb keto journey and let's see where we go. We've just got off the M62 in West Yorkshire, heading for Pontefract, home of the pomfret cake and Haribo sweets. Also, the largest pumpkin farm in England, Farmer Copleys. We're here for their annual Pumpkin Festival, a family event that we attend nearly every year. This year was slightly different, but it was still a good family day out. There was a lot of the normal routine missing this year for obvious reasons, but there was still a large selection of pumpkins, whether it be ones that were already picked on the ground for you to go and just select your own, or pick your own growing in the field. Loads of different varieties and sizes to suit everybody's tastes. Wheelbarrows are available to take your pumpkin normally to the wash station, but this year they went straight to the weigh-in and check-out. But normally they do get to wash their own and can normally draw and decorate them while they're there, but as I say, it's slightly different this year. Staff are scattered around the site in fancy dress, there to help should ever you need it. There's all sorts to do on site. There's usually bands and a food tent and even tractor rides. The grandkids and even my kids, as old as they are, still love it and look forward to going every year. It's a great family day out which we really look forward to. Once we've picked our pumpkins, then we go and have a look in the farm shop. In addition to farm produce and butcher department, there's lots of local goodies and treats. And don't forget to guess the weight of the pumpkin before you go. This causes much family feuding over who's going to be the nearest. And in addition to the pumpkin festival, there are lots of other annual festivals and seasonal events, including, of course, pick your own at the relevant time of year. Another family favourite, of course, being the corn maze, another great day. They also do days more specific to certain groups of people. Oh, and we better not forget the restaurant events that they do against seasonal times of the year and some just general good nights out. We'll be going back anytime, of course, for their Christmas events. After taking inspiration from their pumpkin decorating events, here's James and the other grandkids decorating their own in their different ways. And of course this year they couldn't do the normal event, so they put them outside the garden for others to see. We even had a mini one in our camper van, Fred. And as it was my youngest grandson's first birthday, he of course had a pumpkin cake birthday cake smash. And of course we have to mention our pumpkin princess's first pumpkin too. To learn more about the award-winning Farmer Copleys and their upcoming events, links to their social media and website are in the information below. So, we've got our pumpkin. Now, before we can make our pie, we need some pumpkin spice mix. So let's see what we need. The main ingredients are cinnamon, ginger, nutmeg and cloves, with optional extras to taste. We need a jar, a tablespoon and a pestle and mortar. We start by adding cloves and grinding this. We add a tablespoonful to our jar. It helps if you use a funnel. It doesn't matter if it's more or less, just adjust the other measurements accordingly. We then double the amount of ginger, so that's 2 tablespoons in this case, 4 tablespoons of cinnamon and 2 of nutmeg. We then add allspice as an optional extra, grind it, and it doesn't matter again if it's not an accurate amount. So we're adding a tablespoon and then we're adding cardamom. Don't get rid of your cardamom pods, they're great for flavouring mulled wine or anything, soups, stews, just throw them in. So here is our final mix. All we have to do now is put the lid on and give it a good shake to mix it all up. Just keep shaking till you're happy with the uniform mix and then use it. I'm making a latte here, but it's good for adding that festive flavour to anything, including the pumpkin pie that we're going to be making next. As long as it's in an airtight container, it will keep as long as the spices on their own. But as I say, quantities are all down to taste and you'll find your own adjustments once you start using it. So, we've now got our pumpkin spice mix. Let's make our pumpkin pie. And it's thought that pumpkin pie is a modern American import to Britain, but it was actually around in the 1600s. Slightly different format in that it was custard added to the pumpkin itself, but it's still been in the recipe books since the 1800s in its present day format. So we're now going to make our pumpkin pie, and as always it's low carb with no added sugar or sweeteners. So for the crust we'll start with 150 grams of almond flour, and to this we add a tablespoon each of cinnamon and ginger and mix this. Then add 60 grams of butter melted and mix well. Then put it into your pie dish and flatten it down into the shape of the dish, and then prick it and then bake it. In the pan it's full for 20 minutes. Put your pumpkin or squash in and roast it at the same time. Again, in the pan it's trial and error, but just check till it's tender. Then scoop out the flesh and make a puree. So for the filling we need another bowl, and then add your egg and your almond flour, again 150 grams, and mix. Again, should you need sweetener, just add sweetener of choice, and a dash of salt, which does bring out the sweetness. We then add 2 tablespoons or 30 ml of double or heavy cream. Into this I then use extra cinnamon as a bit of extra sweetness. Then we add our pumpkin or squash. If it looks a bit thick or short on volume, you can always add a bit more double cream just to make it go a bit further. And once this is mixed in, then we're ready for our pumpkin spice mix. I use a couple of tablespoons, but it's up to you over taste. Mix well and then add a teaspoonful of vanilla extract, and I use a sugar-free extract, so it's low carb. And once this is all thoroughly mixed in, then we put it into our pre-baked pastry case. Again, I like to sprinkle a bit more pumpkin spice mix on the top, and then we put it in the oven. Again, bake it on full. It's about 160 on the electric, again for about 20 minutes until it's firm. Meanwhile, you can be whipping some more double cream to go on the top. Again, I like to add a bit more pumpkin spice mix. Can you tell I like to add the flavour? Once it's whipped to firm peaks, you can transfer it to a piping bag or container, just decorate as required. Or just use a knife and spread it on all over the top, you get more. Then just chill till required and serve and enjoy. I hope you enjoyed our trip to Farmer Copleys with us, and I know you'll enjoy eating the pumpkin pie. So now we've got our pumpkin pie, what better to wash it down with than a nice glass of mulled wine. I've used our leftover cardamom pods, a bit of a cinnamon stick, slices of orange, and of course our pumpkin spice mix. Just put a bit extra in. I'd already got some in, but give that a quick stir. Because just warm it up in a pan. What better to wash it down with? Homemade eggnog, but that's another video. Join me next time in my travels and let's see what we make next. While travelling around, we're going to be making our entries for the Van Bake Off. Let's see what we make. And don't forget, it's all low carb, of course, as usual. So, thanks for watching. Hope it's been useful. I'm Leslie and I'm still young at heart. Cheers! So long for now. See you soon.